Center. It's located in the central heart of Accra and adjacent the Kwame Nkrumah Museum, where the mortal remains of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, is located. And this is your surgical circle of the Ghana chapter, one of the 3 circles of the Ghana chapter of the AAPRP.
So someone will ask, what do we do over here? Basically, you know, we have to meet. As when you read a book, Kwame Nkrumah's book on the revolutionary part, the text says that we should organize study. That's the most important thing.
We're currently studying the book Capitalism and Slavery. We are trying to get the details and discuss and get summary and a review of the book.
As a group, we've been able to also do the role of women in society and class struggle in society by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and Ahmed Sekou Toure. And I think that the importance, especially of studying together, it's the collective understanding and collective view or individual type of understanding of the various books which are brought together. You know, so at the end of the day, we are able to have a more dynamic and then a broader understanding of all those books.
So if the masses of the people come together to organize and study politically, it gives us the power to counter what we face, because collectively we can overcome the system.
We had colonialism where the slave master was on edge. Now the kind of system we've got, especially in Africa and in Ghana, is that the slave master is not present, but we've got our own brothers and sisters working for the interests of the slave masters.
The various negative impacts that are felt by Africans are enormous, because policies have been put in place to still keep Africans down.
Our industries, we don't produce. We go to the average supermarket in Ghana and the stuffs over there are things that we imported from outside.
You know, the land Africa is rich, but Africans are poor.
It's like we are basically, most Ghanaians are getting sustenance salary, like what can take you, you can eat, go to work and come back.
Because of the neo-colonialist policies and decisions that have been made to still maintain the status quo, where your minerals are taking over, your resources are taking over, you don't have political power, there's no meaning to your independence, and now your food is going to be taken over. And since they replace their footholds with their agents, you seem to have your own, your own fellow, your own brother in leadership position, but they really are not of you, but they are of you, but they are not about you. And I think that the solutions to this problem, since it's a common problem that faces all Africans, the solution is scientific socialism. Socialism is the fighter against capitalism, because capitalism draws on profit-making, socialism draws on human welfare, where the wealth and resources of a society or of Africa is given or shared equally or fairly among the masses of the people, not rich, the few rich controlling the whole masses. And so what we do here in our study group is to really analyze and understand these fundamental problems and the way forward, as the problem that we face is ideological. I think the solution should be ideological.
And we have to bear in mind that the revolution is not going to be carried by one person. Is that it has to be based on an organization. So as we are doing over here, as we are recruiting new members, we are adding up to our numbers. Then in a way, fundamentally, we are finding solution to the problem. Because who am I as an individual to go and fight the imperialists? Who are my sisters and who are my brothers as an individual? We'll be crushed. But when we base it on organization, then we know that there is a future for what we are doing.
Comrades or Pan-Africanists from the diaspora can help think Africa. Why? Because wherever we find ourselves, our contribution can always be more meaningful if you are able to think of, the role we can play in whichever society we come from, what value we can add back to them or we can bring back home.
Also, I think once a while they have to send us as I said, some materials, very, very important materials. Not less than 20 years ago, it was very, very difficult for you to even come across the books of Osadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So I think apart from this sending us money, one of the things they can help to is the materials, videos, audios, I mean any kind of material that will add a value. So I think it's most welcome.
Organization is key. And you can be part of an international organization that's actually involved in Africa. So just because you're not here doesn't mean you can't be part of an international organization. So if that organization is doing programs like African Liberation Day, or putting together videos or films or developing websites, no one is going to know whether you're doing it from Accra or from Nairobi or from London or from Washington, D.C. You put together a website for an international Pan-African organization. So I think the first step is to be part of an international Pan-African organization if you really want to contribute to Pan-Africanism. And because again, Pan-Africanism is a we're fighting a global problem. So it's not just here in Africa that we are fighting the challenge, we are facing the challenge. So that leads to the second point, which is not doing harm to Africa. By helping promote and develop capitalism in Europe, in America, elsewhere, you are actually hurting us here in Africa. By helping to strengthen, using your talents and your resources to develop Western capitalist economies, capitalist industries, capitalist academic institutions, you're hurting those same institutions in Africa. So we need to think critically about how we use our time, how we use our talents outside of Africa, whether we are actually helping or hurting. Because again, you can help us by being part of a Pan-African organization, or you can hurt us by strengthening those entities that are actually oppressing us. So I think those are the two key things to me, that regardless of where you are, we know some of the greatest Pan-Africanists never made it to Africa. So I think that one shouldn't be anything that holds us back. If we really are concerned about our future as African people, when we come to recognize that that future is key to the development of Africa, then we need to make a contribution to it wherever we may happen to live. So I hope and encourage anybody to get involved in the Pan-African struggle by getting involved in an international Pan-African activity or organization. And I think that will help bring us together to promote this idea of Pan-African unity.
The factory was closed down when Nkrumah was overthrown, and it was sold to Firestone, an American company. They bought it to collapse it. That is imperialism for you. So some people say, well, some of these things are white elephant. Nkrumah was trying to do things, you should work small, later you can run. Why was Nkrumah building factories which were unprofitable and all those things? That is stupidity. Basic business law. They tell you that when you start business, you don't make profit right from the word go. Sometimes you incur losses to get to break even before you make profit. But amazingly, we go to school and they say this nonsense to us and we say, yeah. So the factory was collapsed.
Ebiana manyeni papa de madia nazikata trama pejame manu odia yanu ye eja me maya yayo ama me maya ya mo bro eja bi weja bi tiasidia ye kaya di de wusia Inye misaya nyesi eja yue Eja gabeda pabono Nananume enwa yetinamano Nyana enwa yetinamano